Right now in 7 News at 9, another spring tease is on the way. It's bringing what could be record warmth to New England.
Then fierce flames rip through 2 New Bedford homes, sending people to the hospital. Investigators now trying to figure out what sparked that fire.
Take a look at this. A possible case of road rage in New Hampshire when a woman ends up on the side of the road in the snow.
Also, a whole lot of trouble in Boston's Back Bay. A chimney comes crashing down inside this 4-story building.
Soon-to-be drivers turned away even before turning on their cars. Why it's their rides that are keeping them from their road tests. Tonight, 7 investigates.
Plus, adding a big hitter to the lineup, the Red Sox reportedly making their first major move in the offseason.
And a marvelous weekend at the theater. Black Panther breaking records at the box office.
7 News at 9 starts now.
And first at 9, a soggy starts the week with much of New England dealing with light showers tonight. But as we dry out overnight, guess what? Warmer temperatures are going to be moving in.
And we're talking about really, really warm temperatures for February. Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Reiner is here with all the details tonight.
And even today, temps were in the upper 40s to the low 50s. The normal high is 40 degrees. We were way past that. Boston, a high of 50. Bedford, 48. Norwood, 52. These are the current temps, still running in the mid and upper 40s. In town, 48. Fitchburg, 47. Jaffrey at 41. We have a lot of clouds, and there have been these waves of rain shower activity moving through. I'm not concerned about any wintry precipitation. We hold on to the mild air overnight tonight, and the band of rain extends all the way back through New York and Pennsylvania. The reason for the showers, there's a warm front, the leading edge of even warmer air that is trying to punch up into southern New England, and it will do so during the day tomorrow. So the rainfall timeline, I think we move the brunt of the rain out of here by 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. For those of you that have a morning commute, again, there could be some leftover pockets of drizzle and fog, but no significant rain. And even by 9 a.m., a few peaks of sun possible. Temps tomorrow morning in the mid and upper 40s during the morning commute. And we're heading into the upper 50s and low 60s tomorrow afternoon with some sun. Even warmer on Wednesday. We'll challenge records. More on that in a few minutes.
Also from the night team, a shocking sight on a New Hampshire road. A camera recording this possible case of road rage, showing a man shove the woman in the bright yellow coat right into the snow there. And tonight, we're hearing from the woman who saw the whole thing happen. The night team's Justin Bork is live in New Hampshire with more on this story.
And the woman who witnessed this said she was in disbelief, especially considering this apparent case of road rage happened in front of a lot of witnesses, right in this busy intersection right next to the highway.
Jennifer Needham holds her phone up in disbelief at the scene outside her car. A man shoving a woman to the ground in an act of apparent road rage.
As it is expected nowadays for stuff like that to happen, you really don't expect it to happen right in front of your face, never mind to capture it.
Needham says she shot this video Sunday at noon near the 99 restaurant on Amherst Street in Nashua. She says the scene started with some beeping. The man approached the woman's car, screamed and flailed his arms, then walked back to his car. That's when she took out her phone.
He was back in his car. She got out, went up to his car, and I mean, the rest is history.
The woman who was shoved to the ground wasn't hurt.
Thank God it just snowed like 6 inches because she probably would have got hurt.
Needham kept driving. She says she had 3 kids in the car, and she didn't want to see how a man that angry would react in front of them.
He pushed a woman in front of everybody, so what else is he capable of?
Now, police say they are investigating. They've spoken to both parties involved, but no word on if either will face charges. We're live in Nashua, New Hampshire. Justin Bork, 7 News 19.
Tonight on 7, flames spreading trouble.
The entire house was on fire from top to bottom,
leading to collapse concerns.
It was scary, very scary.
Families forced out with homes in the line of fire.
Fire officials say the fire started inside a New Bedford home and then spread to a neighboring building. At least 2 people were rushed to the hospital, but they are expected to be okay. The night team's Justin Doherty is live in New Bedford with the latest on this investigation tonight.
And tonight we have confirmed 3 people were taken to the hospital, and at least 2 of them had minor burns. But for nearly 2 hours, this was just an intense situation for everyone involved.
There was a wall of fire. The flames were unbelievable. The black smoke. I couldn't see down the street.
A dramatic cell phone video captures the moment massive flames spread rapidly from one home to another in New Bedford. A neighbor down the street left in shock.
I was just frozen, just looking at it. I just could not believe what I was seeing.
The flames spreading so fast, a woman who lives across the street feared what would happen next.
I was actually nervous for my house. Like I said, I started packing a few things, getting my dogs out and stuff. But it was scary, very scary.
But still, once fire crews got on scene, they were able to search all 3 stories of the larger home and make sure everyone was out and take those 3 victims to the hospital.
I got to give them kudos for trying to make it up there and search.
Using a translator, we also spoke to a man whose wife was home inside the larger house at the time the fire erupted. She was able to get out safely, but now he's not sure what to do about his family's personal items inside.
Just worry about what's left over there because he got everything. He got his papers, his daughter's papers, daughter's paper, his social security. He got all his papers right there. So he wants to know when he can get in and see what is left.
And right now you're looking at that charred side of the larger home that remains here in New Bedford. And crews tell me that they have still not determined a cause and that people will be without those homes for quite some time. Live in New Bedford, Justin Dory, 7 News 19.
Well, the Red Sox making a major move this offseason, bringing a star slugger to Boston. The team reportedly signing JD Martinez to a multi-year deal. Trey Dare is here in the newsroom with all the details tonight.
Kiki, it might have taken a little bit longer than Red Sox fans had anticipated, but the team finally lands the power bat it so desperately needs. Reportedly coming to terms with free agent slugger JD Martinez on a 5-year deal. John Paul Morosi of the MLB Network confirming the deal, a contract reportedly worth $110 million, which includes an opt-out after 2 years. 45 home runs last season with the Tigers and Diamondbacks, and figures to add some serious pop to a lineup that finished dead last in the American League in home runs for 2017. The signing of Martinez certainly helps close the gap between the Yankees. Martinez, as mentioned, hit 45 home runs a year ago, the 3rd most in the bigs, behind Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge, who both now play in New York. Live in the newsroom, Trey Dare, 7 News 19.
The 19 now turning to Boston's Back Bay, where the roof of a 4-story building caved in when a chimney came crashing down. You can see the hole there left behind. Neighbors say they thought they heard an explosion before realizing what happened. The night team's Brandon Gano is live in Boston with the details.
Ryan, you can only imagine what it must have sounded like. A whole chimney comes crashing through the entire brownstone from 4 stories high all the way to the basement. You can see a tarp is still covering the building while people who live on either side say rocks have been coming out of their fireplaces. From up above, it's a massive hole right through the middle of a luxury Back Bay brownstone. From below, it's a chimney that collapsed from 4 stories high to the basement floor.
The whole building shook. It felt like an earthquake.
It sounded like the building was collapsing on the inside.
Neighbors on either side of the brownstone in attached apartment homes heard and felt the chimney crumble before running scared to safety outdoors.
I was sitting in my loft area of the apartment, and it just started shaking, and I was sure that it was going to come down, so I just ran downstairs.
The 4-story townhouse has been under renovation, and there were workers inside when it all came crashing down.
There were 4 workers inside the building at the time. They walked out of the building safely.
Just in case the building fell, firefighters set up a collapse zone and made everyone on either side get out. But inspectional services said it was safe. There were no violations and no problems with the construction.
It's just one of these situations, old building, a lot of activity in the building, sometimes causes some vibrations.
The commissioner also said the recent snow and quick warm-up may have been a factor in the collapse. Neighbors were allowed to return home, but hope the damage is done.
Big plumes of black smoke came out of the fireplace. It's still coming. Pebbles are still coming down. You can see it.
Technically, the collapse is still under investigation, but again, thankfully, no one was hurt. We're live in the Back Bay tonight. I'm Brandon Gano, 7 News 19.
Turning now to the Russia investigation, CNN is reporting that special counsel Robert Mueller is taking a closer look at Jared Kushner's finances. The night team's Tim Caputo is here in the newsroom with the very latest on this. Tim.
Yeah, Kiki, there had been previous reports in the recent months that investigators had looked into Jared Kushner's possible contact with Russians, but now a new report is looking into his financial dealings with other countries like China. Special counsel Robert Mueller is reportedly interested in Jared Kushner's attempts to finance his real estate company during the presidential transition. Sources tell CNN investigators are focused on discussions Kushner had with potential Chinese and Qatari investors in an attempt to secure money for one of his company's buildings facing financial troubles.
That's a conflict of interest, plain and simple. Does it lead to something? We don't know.
In addition to being President Trump's son-in-law, Kushner is a senior advisor at the White House, and during the presidential transition, he was also the lead contact for foreign governments. There have been reports that Mueller was already looking into Kushner's contact with Russia, but this is the first indication investigators are looking into financial relationships with other countries. Kushner's attorney released a statement about the new report, writing, quote, "Another anonymous source with questionable motives now contradicts the facts. In all of Mr. Kushner's extensive cooperation with all inquiries, there has not been a single question asked nor documents sought on the 666 building or Kushner Company deals. Nor would there be any reason to question these regular business transactions." This report comes just days after the ongoing Mueller investigation led to the indictment of 13 Russians for meddling in the 2016 election. Over the weekend, security advisor H.R. McMaster spoke about Russia's involvement at a security conference in Germany.
As you can see with the FBI indictment, the evidence is now really incontrovertible.
But President Trump publicly scolded McMaster, saying he, quote, "forgot to say that the results of the 2016 election were not impacted or changed by the Russians," a conclusion that the intelligence community has not reached. And despite this new CNN report, Mueller and his team have not contacted Kushner companies for information or even requested interviews with its executives. Live in the newsroom tonight, Tim Caputo, 7 News 19.
Now to the latest on the Florida school shooting. The 19-year-old suspect was back in court today as new details emerge about his history with guns. The Night Team's Alex DePrado is here in the newsroom with more tonight.
Ryan, Nicholas Cruz owned 10 guns, all rifles, because he was too young to buy a handgun. Tonight, students are working for change, and they plan to keep the pressure on politicians. 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz in court today. The family who took him in when his mom died in November described seeing him after his arrest.
I went after him. I really wanted to strangle him more than anything. He said he was sorry.
He said he was sorry. Cruz owned 10 guns, all of them rifles.
Before he moved in, one of the stipulations is he had to get a gun safe. And we got a gun safe.
And did he didn't have free access to this gun safe?
No. I thought I had the only key to the gun safe.
New video shows Cruz in the white shirt at a fight at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School last year. He was suspended. After the shooting in which 17 were killed, surveillance video shows Cruz walking alone. The FBI says they missed tips. President Trump tweeted the FBI missed signals because they were spending too much time trying to prove Russian collusion with the Trump campaign. Students are slamming the president.
The FBI were some of the amazing first responders who were helping us get to safety, and the fact that he wants to discredit them in any way and that he's trying to shift our focus onto them is it's not acceptable.
Students are planning a rally called March for Our Lives. It will be held on March 24th in Washington. They're calling on Congress and the president to strengthen gun control laws.
My message for the people in office is you're either with us or against us. We are losing our lives while the adults are playing around.
The White House said today President Trump is supporting efforts to improve the federal background check system. Republicans say House Speaker Paul Ryan also wants to get something done.
He knows that we have a lot of work to do, not just on the gun side of this discussion, but also on mental health.
The White House says President Trump will host a listening session on school violence on Wednesday. Marjory Stoneman Douglas students who have been critical of the president say they'll be at a CNN town hall meeting at that same time. Live in the newsroom, I'm Alex DePrado, 7 News 19.
And we are following more news tonight. A building in East Boston falling to pieces today after it partially collapsed over the weekend. The vacant building torn down amid fears it would come down on its own. The Night Team's Byron Barnett has the story.
The 4-story brick building in East Boston's Maverick Square came down like a house of cards.
The operators of the machines were experts. They hit the right panel point, pulled it down, and then the building went down as you saw.
The unoccupied building that was being remodeled partially collapsed Sunday afternoon. As a precaution, several nearby businesses were closed and 28 people were evacuated from their homes. Grace Magoon was working in her office next door.
I heard what I thought was an explosion, not knowing where it was coming from, but then I heard
all kinds of action on top of our roof, so I knew we were hit.
Sunday's partial collapse knocked a hole through the roof of Magoon's tax and financial services business. Danilo Avalon says his law firm next door also suffered heavy damage.
The roof is collapsed. You see all the electrical components and everything. It's pretty much significant damage.
Today, crews knocked the building completely down with a single nudge.
Unfortunately, it had to come down, but in a good thought that nobody was hurt.
Thankfully, it was on a Sunday of a long weekend. Otherwise, we wouldn't be just talking about destruction of property, but loss of life.
And investigators are still trying to figure out exactly why that building partially collapsed. In East Boston, I'm Byron Barnett, 7 News 19.
A popular Revere business reduced to rubble after a massive fire over the weekend. You can see the destroyed building there with the charred remains inside. And it's all because of this. These fierce flames ripping through that appliance store Saturday night. You can see just what crews are up against here trying to put out that fire. The building, a total loss, but the store's owner said he is ready to rebuild. And the night team Steve Cooper reports now.
Going to come back strong.
Looking over his landmark appliance and furniture store here in Revere, nothing's about to rattle 91-year-old Chuck Sozio, even after his business went up in flames over the weekend here on Route 60.
I opened this store up, it was 1945. And 70 years of it is a long time.
Sozio's wife Tricia was actually inside the store late Saturday afternoon when the smoke detectors went off. And within a matter of minutes, the landmark business was transformed into an inferno.
Watch the amount of time I put into it. Went up in flames in such a short time.
48 hours later, and there was longtime employee Vera Rice still at it, fielding phone calls from customers. 24 employees are temporarily out of work.
It is sad. It's very sad because he's been here, like you say, he's here forever, it seems like,
Started in that center of that building right there.
Old pictures of the store, a reminder of years gone by, leaving a temporary gap in the city's landscape. But Sozio says the fire isn't the end of an era, it's just another chapter in the company's history.
An era. I don't believe in that. Got to go forward.
So even at the age of 91, Sozio is promising to rebuild. Now, fire investigators were told, we'll be back here on the scene tomorrow to try to pinpoint the cause of this fast-moving fire where damage is said to be in the millions of dollars. In Revere, Steve Cooper, 7 News 19.
And it was a race to the rescue in Blackstone when a four-legged friend gets stuck on really thin ice. Police rushing in to pull Rosie to safety when the ice started to break on the frozen pond. Tonight, we're hearing from the crews who ran in to help. The night team is live in Blackstone, where Michael Yoshida has more. Michael.
Yeah, Blackstone firefighters say they usually get 1 to 2 of these rescue calls a year. Today, we spoke with the paramedic who ventured onto the ice to help make this rescue a success.
She was very skittish, cold and shaking, wet, freezing cold.
This was the scene Sunday in Blackstone.
Sam, just lay back in the water. I'll pull you back.
Paramedic Sam Blake in the red survival suit working to rescue a dog from a frozen pond.
She had fallen through. She was soaking wet. And she'd been out there for probably at least a couple of hours.
Blackstone firefighters were called to Harris Pond around 3 Sunday afternoon. Wearing his suit, Blake slowly made his way to the dog named Rosie.
I couldn't even crawl up on it. As soon as I got to it, I was able to just keep breaking. But as I got closer and closer, just kept breaking with my knees.
Eventually, Blake made it and was able to scoop up Rosie.
She was just friendly because I had her had her wrapped around like this, and her head was right here.
From there, Blake's lieutenant and others pulled the pair to shore. A happy ending to a chilly day.
Shook herself all off and ran off, happy as could be. Ran off to home, and I'm sure she wanted to go and get warm as soon as she could.
And Blake says that even though Rosie weighed maybe 50 or 60 pounds, she still managed to fall through the ice, and that this rescue is a good reminder of the dangers around frozen bodies of water in the winter. Reporting in Blackstone, Michael Yoshida, 7 News 19.
Framingham city officials calling for change after a house party goes out of control. A group of college students rented the place using the website Airbnb, but now leaders are hoping to tighten restrictions on rentals. The night team's Sharman Sacchetti has much more.
New calls for change after a house party that drew hundreds to an Airbnb in Framingham got out of hand.
The situation
that took place at that property should never happen in a community. It was terrifying.
Framingham City Councilor Pam Richardson says the city needs to know where the Airbnbs are. Not to mention, she says they ought to be checked for safety and taxed like hotels. Nearly 2 weeks ago, a Framingham police officer and 3 students were injured in a head-on collision while the officer was responding to a rowdy house party on Brook Street.
It took them 45 minutes to get the party under control. It was a dangerous situation.
Next morning, beer cartons, beer bottles all over the street.
People living near the home where the party was held tell us they were worried for their safety.
If they can get any kind of regulations, it would really make a difference.
Like anything else, you know, if it's used inappropriately, it does become problematic.
Framingham Mayor Yvonne Spicer says she's open to talking about the issue.
I would support it, and you know, and if it's done in a way that it protects the safety of the public, also our community, the homeowners' rights and use of their facility.
Airbnb sent us a statement saying what took place was unacceptable and says they're fully cooperating with police. City Councilor Richardson plans to introduce the topic at a meeting tomorrow night. In Framingham, Charmin Sacchetti, 7 News 19.
Police say they've tracked down the thieves responsible for breaking into an Uxbridge vape store. 2 people are facing charges after detectives say they found $10,000 worth of products from that vape store at home. Here it is laid out on several different tables. The robbery happened more than 2 weeks ago at Wolfpack Vapor in Uxbridge. Now, police say the robbers broke through a back window of that building. The 2 people being charged for the break-in will appear in court tomorrow.
And a really troubling trend emerging in Lowell. Police say a potentially deadly batch of opioids has hit the area. These drugs leading to 20 overdoses in 3 days. City officials say these overdoses are caused by heroin and fentanyl. All 20 of those people revived with shots of Narcan. And 2 men in Haverhill arrested and charged with trafficking cocaine and heroin. The bust happening as officers were conducting a search on I-495. Police spotted a car parked on the curb of a rest area. And after taking a closer look, police found about 100 grams of cocaine and 50 grams of heroin.
And today, the JFK Presidential Library gave visitors a chance to glimpse into the past in honor of President's Day. The library hosted the President's Day Family Festival so people can learn about the country's former commander-in-chiefs. Visitors got a chance to interact with actors dressed as American presidents and learn the legacies each president left while in office.
Coming up, imagine being turned away from your driver's test even before starting the car.
How often do people get rejected for this?
Probably daily. Hank found these RMV rejections happening across Massachusetts. So who's at risk? And why? 7 investigates. Coming up next on 7 News.
Then what divers found inside a 300-year-old shipwreck off Cape Cod that could unlock a mystery.
Very warm temps heading our way. I'll let you know how long the spring preview will last.
Also, the internet really not singing her praises here. Now find out what Fergie is saying about her national anthem performance.
Plus, how Black Panther clawed its way into the record books. It's all coming up on 7 News at 9.
Seven News is brought to you in part by WeatherTech.
I just picked up the cake for the baby shower.
Yay! You know she's having a boy, right?
Oh, boy.
Buick now has an SUV for that. Introducing the Buick Encore.
I knew I could trust you guys with the cake.
Oh, no problem. That was close.
One of 3 luxury SUVs from the new Buick. Current Buick and non-GM lessees get this low-mileage lease on this 2018 Buick Encore for around $159 per month.
Look around your house. Maybe it needs a little updating. Well, right now at Jordan's, get up to 60 months to pay with no interest and equal monthly payments. So what does that really mean? Well, it means you could spend $24.99 on new furniture and pay just $42 a month for 60 months. You see, the total of your payment is just the price on your order and no more. So now look around your house and then come look around our house. You can enjoy your new furniture sooner than you think and for a lot less than you think.
Nissan Rogue has advanced tech that the competition doesn't, like ProPilot Assist, a Nissan exclusive that helps keep you right in the center of your lane, something RAV4 can't do. plus a round view monitor that gives you a 360-degree view, and class-exclusive moving object detection. The tech of tomorrow, only in Nissan Rogue today. Experience it only at your local Nissan dealer. Lease the Rogue family starting at just $159 per month, or get a low $99 per month lease on Sentra.
Every year, hundreds of Massachusetts teenagers trying to get their driver's license are having their rides rejected. It's a Massachusetts law that lays out what the car can and cannot have during the test.
And it could mean your child automatically fails. So what do you need to know before they hit the road? Tonight, 7 investigates. Here's Hank Philippi Ryan.
Sarah really wanted her driver's license, so she practiced and practiced on the streets of Barnstable in the family car. She could parallel park. She could back up 50 feet. She knew all the hand signals.
I felt so confident for that test. I was definitely ready.
But before Sarah could turn the ignition for her driver's test, the Mass RMV put on the brakes. She was all set for the test, but her mom's car wasn't.
I was surprised. I didn't have any idea.
Here's why. Though the car worked perfectly and passed inspection, the emergency brake is right here, the kind you push with your foot. But Massachusetts RMV requirements say to take the driver's test, you must have a car with a centrally located parking brake. That meant Sarah couldn't take the test unless her mom found another car.
$100 we paid extra to borrow the driving school's vehicle.
And our investigation of registry stats from across the state show each year thousands of wannabe drivers have the cars they brought to use in the test rejected before the test even begins.
So someone could be a perfectly good driver but be rejected for the car.
Exactly. The RMV guidebook and website do say pretty clearly the cars must only have center console brakes, and that backing sensors, backup cameras, and automatic parallel parking must be turned off or disabled for the road test. But seems like the message is not getting through. Our analysis of road test records found the number of equipment rejections keeps going up, and it now happens on average almost 12 times a day.
So someone could bring in a brand new car with a perfect inspection and still be rejected?
Yes. The RMV would not talk on camera, but told us the high-tech computer-assisted gizmos in new cars would not truly show driving skills and abilities, and that an accessible parking brake is so the examiner can make an emergency stop. But our investigation found Massachusetts is the only New England state that has such strict equipment requirements. Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Maine officials tell us backup cameras do not have to be disabled for their tests. Rhode Island requires a central brake, but the other states say any brake is fine. Sarah did pass in that borrowed car, but her mom still wonders why it had to be so complicated.
I do think the rules in Massachusetts need to change.
What are the chances they will change? When we ask the registry, all they would say is, we're always monitoring our policies for safety. If you'd like to see the rules, check our website. That's 7 Investigates. I'm Hank Philippi Ryan.
Showers overnight tonight, fade away tomorrow morning. Forecast for the next 7 days up next.
Outside the Roosevelt, in the shadows of Washington Peak, at the Polk Trailhead, or crossing the Madison River. Flex your freedom the way all of our great presidents intended at the Jeep President's Day event. Hurry in for great deals. Well-qualified current lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee for $269 a month.
7 News is brought to you in part by Bernie and Phil's Furniture.
Welcome back. Black Panther blowing away records at the box office on its opening weekend, bringing in an estimated more than $200 million.
That's the 5th biggest opening of all time. So here's a look at the 4 films beating out Black Panther: The Avengers, Jurassic World, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and Star Wars: The Force Awakens. The movie not only breaking records, but shattered expectations with the critics.
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world.
Moviegoers are calling Black Panther one of the best movies of the decade, and the box office numbers are starting to prove it. The Marvel film is the first to star a black superhero. It's a story of identity, as the title character becomes the king of a fictional African nation.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be.
Now the numbers are officially putting Black Panther in the movie-making history books. The film has raked in an estimated $235 million during its opening weekend, making it the biggest solo superhero launch of all time, biggest February movie opening, largest grossing movie directed by a black filmmaker, and the 5th biggest movie opening ever.
Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
Praise for Black Panther is also pouring in, especially from Hollywood. Oprah sharing her excitement on Twitter, saying, "Just saw it with Stedman. It's phenomenal. Layers and layers of it. Wakanda forever." Diddy is also a fan, encouraging others to see the film, tweeting, "Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Everybody go see Black Panther. Let's show our power at the box office." Former First Lady Michelle Obama offering up her own praise, writing, "Congrats to the entire Black Panther team. Because of you, young people will finally see superheroes that look like them on the big screen. I love this movie, and I know it will inspire people of all backgrounds to dig deep and find the courage to be heroes of their own stories." And many expect Black Panther will continue shattering box office records, and there are rumors about plans for at least one sequel, but no official word just yet. I'm sure they're in the works, though, with that kind of opening.
Yeah, and no doubt about it. And from records at the box office to records in the weather department.
Sounds really good, doesn't it, JR?
Yeah, especially on Wednesday. Temps tonight will be mild. Showers overnight tonight, fade away. Tomorrow's a warm day, but Wednesday is the warmest of the bunch. That's where I think we're going to see record warmth. Temps upper 60s to around 70. Just like that, though, it turns colder by Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. 48 in town right now. Nashua 40 degrees. Provincetown at 44. Scattered showers tonight with pockets of fog out there. Temps will hold steady about where they are right now, 43 to 48. Here on the Doppler, you see the bands of the shower activity, the deeper shades of green indicating some steadier bursts of rain, and then you get other gaps in the precipitation as well. So we'll have that continuing overnight tonight, these off and on showers. And then as we move the radar out of New England and look to our west, they do continue back through New York State. It is starting to dry out back through Pennsylvania as the whole band of shower activity lifts to the north. And so that's why I think as we roll toward your morning commute, if you have one, there'll be a lot of clouds. Not much in the way of rain. Rain gear on standby. There could be a couple of pockets of drizzle and mist, but I don't think we'll have to worry about any significant rain during the morning hours. There'll be a lot of clouds up until about 10, 11 o'clock. Here we are at 9 o'clock. Still holding on to the clouds. Could be some pockets of fog. And then as we work through the day, a few peaks of sun. But even with limited sunshine, it's a warm air mass. And so a southwesterly breeze will import the warm air into southern New England. Temps heading for the upper 50s and the low 60s. The city around 59, Scituate 53. This time of year, as we roll into spring, anywhere near the water, if you've got wind coming off that water, kind of keeps your warmth in check. So Dartmouth at 52, but you notice Attleboro at 61. North of town, the Merrimack Valley, always one of the warm spots in a pattern like this. Drake at 63. Worcester Hills, Fitchburg at 60. Worcester itself at 62. And again, like the South Coast, here across the Cape with that southwest wind, your numbers above normal, but not as warm as we will be in the metro. Temps on the Cape, low 50s. Now, on to Wednesday. That's the day where we challenge records and perhaps exceed them. Boston advertising 67, Norwood at 70. Worcester should also head for the upper 60s. This one here, that's low-hanging fruit. You can get there, Worcester. Your record high is 59. I think even here in the city on Wednesday, the record is 63. And again, I think you'll get to 67. Not often do we hit 70 in February in Boston, but we did it last year. In fact, 73, that's the warmest it has ever been in the city of Boston. Also last year, February 25th, a temperature of 69. So deja vu all over again. It's got a couple of warm days here, and then it does look like it wants to turn colder by the end of the week. In fact, so cold, I think we'll have some rain showers Thursday that try to mix with a few wet snowflakes as the colder air pours in, but it won't be anything that deals with shovels or anything like that. Friday, much the same, a lot of clouds, a couple of showers Friday afternoon. Temps on Friday, near 40.
superstar Fergie creating an unusual musical moment at last night's NBA All-Star Game in Los Angeles. Her performance getting a mixed reaction in the stands and online. Some say they like Fergie's rendition of the national anthem.
While others say she really failed to hit the high notes. The night team's Jadian Thompson has the story tonight.
Oh, say, can you see?
It's the version of the national anthem that's going viral. Fergie singing a unique rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner before the NBA All-Star Game. Players in the crowd looked like they couldn't believe what they were hearing as the Black Eyed Peas singer performed the anthem. Some laughed at her rendition, others appeared less than impressed, and then there were those who just looked on in amazement. But whether watching it in person or on television, it didn't take long for Twitter to erupt with opinions on her performance. Even analysts Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal weighed in.
Can we talk about Fergie's national anthem? Oh, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that to my Fergie. Leave her alone.
Roseanne Barr, who is notorious for her own version of the anthem nearly 3 decades ago, joined in the debate, tweeting, "Who saw Fergie's national anthem performance at the NBA All-Star Game? I think mine was better low-key." And comedian Bob Saget tweeted, "Fergie's rendition of the national anthem was originally written by Francis Scott out of key." The performance also drawing comparisons to other legendary anthem gaffes. Christina Aguilera struggling with the words before Super Bowl 45. And who could forget when Michael Bolton had to write the lyrics on his hand while performing at Fenway for the ALCS in 2003. Fergie telling TMZ today that she wanted to take a risk and tried her best to do something special, but realizes her rendition didn't strike the intended tone. In the newsroom, Jadian Thompson, 7 News Night Team.
Coming up from the night team, you know, it could be a piece of key history, what researchers think they found on a Cape shipwreck.
Then a race to the rescue. The UK officers rushed to pull a drowning man from this river.
Among Us with stolen identities on real driver's licenses.
It allows them to drive around in plain view.
And commit crimes using fake names and addresses.
A second person got arrested using that same identity.
Can these imposters be stopped? See what I uncovered after talking to police. 7 investigates. Tomorrow at 9 and 10 p.m.
We want to be your repeat dealer. You can count on Copeland Toyota. It's Todd versus time. And now is your time to count on Copeland for huge President's Month savings. Now is your time to save on Camry. You can count on Copeland.
New TV, new speakers, Netflix. This is going to be the place for binge watching, ladies.
Is it, ladies? Don't get me wrong. You have killer tech, Mrs. D, but you still don't have Fios.
Okay.
Fios is a 100% fiber optic network, literally engineered for streaming.
Good advice.
I've also got some ideas on a better cereal selection, which I will keep to myself.
Experience Netflix on the 100% fiber optic network made for streaming. Switch to Fios and get a year of Netflix on us with a 2-year agreement.
Around here, we don't let a little snow slow us down. Around here, we Honda. Cozy up to the 2018 all-wheel drive CR-V. Hurry in to get a great deal at the President's Day sale going on now. But only for a limited time at your local New England Honda dealer.
Pull together. A little to the left. Easy. All right. We've all got places to go.
Washington crossing the Delaware Turnpike? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Sean saved by switching to Geico.
Big man with a horn.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
It's Todd versus time. And now is your time to count on Copeland for huge President's Month savings. Now is your time to save on RAV. You can count on Copeland.
A piece of hidden history discovered more than 300 years later on the Cape here. Scientists are trying to identify those bones found in Yarmouth from an 18th century shipwreck.
And they believe this piece of history could belong to a notorious pirate. The Night Team's Jonathan Hall reports.
The 300-year-old remains of a pirate removed from its tomb of rock and sand on the Cape.
Nice job, you guys.
It's a femur or thigh bone pulled from the wreck of a 100-foot pirate ship called the Witta Galley.
What happened here, I think, is that when the ship turned over, you have all of this heavy material that's gone from one end of the ship. That came on top of this pirate.
The Witta sank in a ferocious storm off Wellfleet in April of 1717.
I call this the maritime equivalent of King Tut's tomb.
The Witta's captain was 28-year-old Samuel Black Sam Bellamy. Could this femur belong to him? Investigators believe his body never washed ashore, so the answer is yes.
I got the DNA team involved, and then we were able to contact and find Sam Bellamy's direct bloodline descendant in England.
Barry Clifford, on an expedition with the late John F. Kennedy Jr., discovered the wreck in 1984, and he's been diving off Wellfleet every summer, pulling artifacts to the surface.
This is a long-term project. Clifford has recovered numerous items from the Witta, including this stunning Sun King pistol.
Clifford's team spent hundreds of hours working on this massive rock, which protected the remains for centuries.
The bone was our priority, but we never want to compromise the integrity of anything else, so we do want to very carefully work around it. It is very time-consuming, it's very meticulous, it's very rewarding though.
Forensic scientists at the University of New Haven now will see if they can find a DNA match between the femur tissue and a mouth swab from Captain Bellamy's great-great-great-great-nephew in England. It's going to take about a month for those results to come back. In the control room, Jonathan Hall, 7 News 19.
Coming up next in sports, baseball, the news of the day, but we also got a walk-off on the ice for the Bruins out west. And this guy hoping to do a whole lot of walking around the base path at his own pace this year in Boston. Details on the Red Sox newest star next in sports.
The 2018 Cadillac XT5. Beauty. Greater than the sum of its parts.
Current GM lessees get this low-mileage lease on this 2018 Cadillac XT5 from around $359 per month. Visit your local Cadillac dealer.
We asked real people if they wanted to test drive Chevy vehicles in a snowstorm.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Shotgun.
Ooh. I'm really impressed by the traction.
How do you feel driving it?
I feel confident.
That's why Chevy offers so many all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles to better handle winter driving.
Climbing up this hill pretty well.
Current qualified competitive lessees can get this all-new 2018 Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive for around $199 a month.
How's the four-wheel drive feel?
I like it.
It's time for the Hyundai President's Day sales event, featuring the best deals of 2018 on the full Hyundai lineup of cars and all-wheel drive SUVs. Like the Santa Fe Sport, now for just $219 a month. And with Hyundai, you save now and later, because every Hyundai comes backed by America's best warranty, the Hyundai President's Day sales event. It just might make February the best time of the year. Right now, for a limited time, get up to $1,000 President's Day bonus cash on the Santa Fe. Extended through February 28th.
This President's Day at Kia, we're bringing meaning back to value with America's best value.
Value with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Value from the brand ranked highest in initial quality with a Sorento and Optima made right here in America. Kia, a value like no other this President's Day. Right now, lease the 2018 Sorento L for only $179 a month with $500 bonus cash applied towards down payment.
Why put so much purpose into something that seems built for play? It's simple. You can build a car, or you can build a Cadillac. Get this low-mileage lease on this Cadillac ATS all-wheel drive from around $299 per month. Visit your local Cadillac dealer.
Get ready for the Honda Sports Zone.
And now, time for 7 Sports with Trey Dale.
Dave Dombrowski normally gets what he wants. The Red Sox have the deep pockets to make sure it happens, but this time it pays to wait, with Boston signing Scott Boras' client JD Martinez to a very fair market deal at 5 years, $110 million, a far cry from the $200 million deal he was seeking. Martinez blasting a career-high 45 home runs split between 119 games with the Tigers and Diamondbacks last season. That total good for third in the majors, the 30-year-old agreeing to a front-loaded deal, which includes an opt-out after year 2. Martinez racked up 128 home runs spanning the last 4 years and fills a gigantic power void in the Red Sox lineup. Here's a look at JD's numbers last season and how he'll compare to the heart of the Red Sox order, doubling up all of the Sox top home run hitters, and is the only one of the bunch top 300 in 2017. President's Day translating to no time off for the President's Trophy contending Boston Bruins. The Bees taken to the ice for Game 2 of a 5-game road trip out in Calgary, hoping to avoid losing 2 straight games in regulation for the first time since November 15th. The Bruins striking first out in Western Canada. David Pastrnak going to work, lighting the lamp for the 22nd time this season. 1-0 black and gold out in front. Flames pulling even here in the second. Skating on the power play, Matt Tkachuk going off the front of the net and gets rewarded for it, muscling home. Game's tied at 1. Bruins with a golden chance here to pull ahead, but David Rittich flashing the leather to rob Ryan Spooner on the breakaway. So the game stays tied. We head to overtime. Bruins getting on the good side of a deflection. It goes off Riley Nash's skate, then up ahead to Brad Marchand. Nothing between he and the goalie for about 150 feet, and he beats Rittich 5-hole to close the show in Calgary. Bees win it in overtime, 2-1. Boston College visiting NC State tomorrow night in hoops and trying to keep their slim NCAA tournament hopes alive with 4 games to go. Jim Christian's Bunts is a long shot to get to the dance and hasn't been there since 2009. But Jerome Robinson and Kai Bowman leading the way as the best backcourt in the ACC. And for them, seeing the right side of Selection Sunday would be a dream come true.
I mean, it means a lot. It was something no one would picture us doing. And we know every guy wants to be in the tournament, so it means so much to us. It'll put us back on the map, and it'll bring back the BC basketball that people knew before, definitely.
I think it's going to be pretty good. Everybody's want to get to the big dance, so that's our accomplishment for our team to get to, and we want to, and that's what we're planning on trying to do.
There's 8 halves left. If we play well for 8 halves, then there'll be a great conversation. If we don't play well for 8 halves, then it's not going to be a conversation. So the ball's in our court, and that's all you can ask for is an opportunity.
Play of the day brought to you by IRA.
Keeping it in the ACC, Miami visiting Notre Dame, and look at the Canes Chris likes. Only listed at 5'7". That might be a little generous, but he's got the wheels. Poking the ball ahead, then finishing with the circus layup, plus the foul. The Speedy Hurricane taking home our play of the day. And it's been a rough Olympic hockey tournament for Team USA on the men's side tonight. College locals Ryan Donato and Jordan Greenway hope to keep the dream alive, facing elimination against Slovakia. That's sports.
Trey, thank you. We're just getting a little education from JR over here on the big wall about why we're going to see the warmer temperatures.
Exactly. And you were saying the pattern we have right now is something we normally see in July.
Yeah, well, the Bermuda High. I mean, we hear this and we talk about this in the summer months. Once in a while, you can pop one in the winter, and here we go. That area of high pressure will easily send this warm front through southern New England during the day tomorrow. And so the next 2 days, tomorrow and Wednesday, will shape up to be very warm. Even right now, 48. That's not too shabby. Cincinnati at 66, Chicago 58, Green Bay, Twin Cities cold, which eventually will find its way back into the Northeast. But the message tonight is a preview of spring. So your morning commute will feature clouds, some pockets of fog, temps in the upper 40s. 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, there'll be some sun out there. I think along the south coast and the Cape, you'll hold on to the clouds, but around the metro, at least a few sunny peaks near 60. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we hold on to the warm air near 50. So there you go tomorrow at 59, Worcester at 62. And for Wednesday, that's the warmest of the week. Upper 60s and low 70s. Hello, spring.
Sounds good. Thank you, JR. A water rescue caught on camera here in the UK. Watch as a police officer jumps into a river to save a man struggling to stay afloat there. The officer manages to pull that man to safety. Both the officer and man are okay.
Thank goodness. Next up from the night team, stuck on your wedding day, why a Rhode Island bride nearly missed her own reception.
And ahead at 10 o'clock, shoved in the snow. A possible case of road rage in New Hampshire here, caught on camera. Now the woman who recorded this scary scene is talking about what happened. That story coming up next on 7 News at 10.
7 News is brought to you in part by buyatoyota.com.
A Rhode Island bride nearly misses her wedding reception after getting stuck on board of an elevator. The elevator she was in ended up malfunctioning mid-ride.
It fortunately did not ruin their special night, but the couple is now talking about that wedding woe. Melissa Rogers' dream wedding went all according to plan until it came time for the reception.
I jumped in the elevator, and we started to go up. The elevator kind of just shuttered, and we all thought, oh, weird. And then the doors never opened.
Stuck in the Providence Biltmore elevator 4 feet shy of the 18th floor, she and 2 wedding planners waited and waited.
I was hoping that, like, okay, it'll just take a minute, 2 minutes. 5 minutes went by, and I thought, okay, something might be wrong.
One of her bridesmaids came up to me and whispered in my ear, we have a situation that's going on. Don't be alarmed, but Melissa is stuck in the elevator.
Soon the fire department came prying open the doors.
26 years, I've never seen anything like this.
Melissa cocktail hour as firefighters worked to get her out without ruining her dress.
We were prepared to get her honeymoon clothes, get it down to her.
But that crisis was averted when the technician came and got the elevator back up and running. Melissa was on solid ground again after a crazy 45 minutes in limbo.
It was unfortunate, but
it's a great memory.
Yeah, it was a good
It's going to be a great memory.
And good, they can laugh about it now. The bride says a cocktail was waiting for her the minute she got off the elevator. A cocktail or 2, Ryan.
Yes, stories for years for their grandkids, and glad everything worked out. The night team will be right back.
Get the best internet with the best shows and get the best of both worlds. Fios by Verizon gives you the fastest internet available for only $79.99 a month online with a 2-year agreement. And your Netflix is on us for 1 year. And with a gigabit connection on the 100% fiber optic network, you can stream on up to 100 devices at once. So get the fastest internet available, plus Netflix, plus up to 200 TV channels, plus phone, plus a 2-year price guarantee. All for just $79.99 per month. It's time to fiber optics your Netflix. Go to getfios.com to switch today.
The bank was founded in 1969 by my dad. His reputation is stellar.
Dad says often, if customers do well, you will too.
If you want to maintain that customer, you got to give them what they want, and we do.
How do you want to live? As a decent person? Good husband? Is that it? Good? Of course not. King of the Hill? 7 News is brought to you in part by Commonwealth Motors.
Well, that's it for 7 News at 9. Thanks for being with us. I'm Kiki Venzel.
And I'm Ryan Schultz. 7 News at 10 is next. Have a good night.
From your phone or your tablet, get the latest weather updates anytime, anywhere. Just tap the 7 Weather app.
Sponsored by Draper, engineering possibilities.
It's Todd versus time.